Hi, I'm about to do add to the mission that I created with Operation K in the last video. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add another task to the mission. So I'm going to go to single player editor, and I've got to go to UTIS, and I'm just going to load Operation K. So we have the mission that I created. I won't worry about that right now. This is a helicopter transport that I was playing around with. Shift and delete. And what I'm going to do is I want a task 2, which is a separate target that's going to be in the town that I can kill. So I'm going to create a op4 and a boss character. I'm actually going to use insurgents boss. I'm going to call this boss B1, and I'm going to give him a couple of buddies. So one, Control C, Control V twice, and I'm going to call this guy an insurgent, and I'm going to make this guy a sapper. So they're basically lackeys to the boss. Now the boss is going to have, he's going to be the lieutenant, and I'm going to group these guys to him. Now I'm going to move these dudes up here. Can keep my finger on shift and left mouse button so I can rotate them, and I'm going to keep them staring out. Now I want these guys to spawn, I want the boss to spawn in a random building or a random area in the town. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create some markers, but before I do that I just need to know exactly what buildings that I can actually spawn into. So I'm going to create a civilian very quickly and make him playable, and I'm just going to preview the mission so I can see what buildings I can go into. I'm going to push T and see the citizen. Now I'm going to click that. Now there's my boss, there's the meetings up there. Now I'm just going to have a look around what buildings that we can spawn them into. There's the patrols. That's one patrol moving around, so I can spawn them into here. So that's one building. This is going to be a pretty pretty intense mission when I actually get it all done. I'm looking for another house, another building. We have another patrol. Hello, I'm just a civilian. I'm nobody. I don't know where they are. I don't know anything. So I have a second building here that I'm going to spawn the boss in, and I think there's a third building over there, and here's another building here. So I want the boss to spawn into one of those buildings. Now I'm just going to get out of there. Now one thing I want to do, so I'm going to create 4 markers, and I'm going to call B1M for B1 marker, boss 1 marker, red, and I'm going to call the icon unknown, and I'm going to make it possible leader. I'm going to create 4 of these, Control C and Control V, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to group the boss to these markers, wherever the last marker is. There it is. Now I'm going to move these markers to those buildings. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the 4th one. Now the boss is going to spawn into one of these buildings. However, I don't want the boss to accidentally spawn into a house next door, or end up spawning in. See, there's 2 positions in this house. There's 2 positions in this house. There's 2 positions in this house. But there's 4 positions in this house, so they're not even. So I need to put a script in here to make sure everything works out the way I want it to work out. So how I do this is I push this set boss brackets nearest building this brackets building pos brackets random 2, not random 4 or 10, because there's no buildings that have 10 positions in this little area, and colon, and another bracket and another bracket, so 2 brackets at the start and at the end. So building pos has to be one word. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go onto these units here, and I'm going to put special information, but I'm actually going to have none. So not in formation. I don't want these 2 guys to be in formation when the boss spawns. So I want the guys to run to the boss, because if they spawn, they might accidentally spawn in another house or spawn on top of the roof and die. So I'd rather have them run to the boss wherever he goes. Now the next thing I'm going to do, so we have a target. I'm going to create a trigger with the 0, 0 axis, and I'm going to, in the condition, I'm going to have an exclamation mark, alive, brackets, B1, boss 1, brackets, colon. I'm going to have a hint. The commander has been terminated. Well done. And speech marks, and I'm going to have an effect. I'm going to have type text, and I'm going to have the commander has been terminated, and I'm going to have 2 sound effects, and I'm going to have sound effect 1 will be a radio noise, so when he dies I will hear a kshk, and the second sound I'm going to have is a beep. I don't actually know exactly how this is going to sound, but this is just an idea. So I've got 2 sounds happening when the commander dies. So as you can see, the condition, it says exclamation mark alive B1, means the trigger will happen when he dies. And I can create that as an ending, so I can put N2. Now if I put N2 in that trigger, that means the if I kill the commander, the mission will end. But if I take out everybody in the town, the mission will end as well, because of the end 1 trigger. So I have end 1, kill everybody, and end 2, just take out the commander, but I'm not going to do that for now. But that'll give you an idea that if you want to end a mission where you're destroying a target or destroying a vehicle, that's how you do it. Exclamation mark alive and name the unit. So now I'm going to put task 2 into the any box of miles here. So this is really easy. I've created a diary record. I won't go into that right now. That's actually puts notes and things in into the task box when you are actually playing the mission. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to Control C and Control V and simply change, if you watch the first video, simply change task 1 to task 2. Change all the task 1s to task 2 where I just pasted everything. And then I'm just going to simply change task 2. See, it says task 2 set task state created, just like the first video. But instead of having take company like the first video, I'm going to have kill the commander. And instead of having go into company and destroy the enemy, I'm going to have for task 2, I'm going to have go into company, locate and find the commander and eliminate him ASAP. Now with the marker name, instead of having E2, E2 is the name of the Russian marker flag, I'm going to have B1M, which is the question mark marker. Now I'm going to create 4 of these markers. Control C. I'm going to have a comma, Control V, comma, Control V, and comma, Control V. And instead of take company for that second lot for the description, I will have kill the commander, which is the same name as task 2. The create task, it was kill the commander, so I have to do the same thing here. Now all I've got to do is just find out what these markers are, the names of them. So we have B1M, B1M underscore 1, B1M underscore 2, B1M underscore 3, and so I'm going to go back in here and change the marker names. So B1M, B1M underscore 1, B1M underscore 2, B1M underscore 3. Now I'm going to show you what that does. So we have in the miles any box, we have M2, set marker pos get pos miles, that's the insertion marker. Task 1, which is take company, destroy everything in company, and task 2, kill the commander. Now I'll show you what that did. Now I push M. Now see up the top left hand corner, you have tasks, you have kill the commander. Go into company, locate and find the commander and eliminate him ASAP. Now all of these here reference points are what I put into the marker boxes in miles, well in the player box. So here, see, notice I push these, the map will zoom into those areas and I can set as current task, meaning my current task is kill the commander. Now what I have to do is, I'm just going to get out of there, I have to go back to the trigger up here and I have to set task 2 state, colon task 2, that's task 2 kill the commander, set task state, speech marks succeeded. So the grey task, when I preview it, M, the taskbar up here, kill the commander, if I set as current task it's grey, but when I kill the commander it'll turn green. Now if I make that trigger an end, N2, then it'll also end the mission, but I don't want to do that. So yeah, so now we have 2 tasks. I have take company and kill the boss, kill the commander, and the commander is going to spawn in one of these areas. So yeah, I hope you've learnt something. I hope it's helped. I will add more to it in the next video. Thank you. Cheers.